Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Edge of Your Seat episode of every animated movie of the year. And guys, I'm pretty stoked for this one, cause today we saw Cars 3. Now, for a bit of background, Cars has always been one of my very favorite Pixar movies. The amount of confused faces I met with when I say that I enjoy Cars more than The Incredibles is staggering. But that's okay. Different strokes for different folks, I always say. I've always looked at Cars as like Pixar's sport movie, which is awesome because I'm a huge fan of traditional sports films. So if you are as well, then you probably will have really dug Cars and really will dig Cars 3. Of course, you'll notice I've left something out. As a huge fan of Cars, you can imagine my disappointment with the sequel, Cars 2. The sports film tones were gone and replaced with wacky spy movie gags, and McQueen is totally halted as a budding character. That's just scratching the surface, of course. If you're interested, I did a massive in-depth review of Cars 1, 2, and Planes all in one giant video. I'll link it down in the description. I think you'd really enjoy it. It's one I'm really proud of. But back to Cars 3. Watching this movie felt like justice. This movie is the sequel that Cars 2 should have been. With zero exaggeration, you can actually just watch Cars 1 and then go straight to Cars 3 and it will feel totally natural, which I have no doubts was totally the intention. Almost nothing from the second film is even brought up. The new film brings back those dusty old Radiator Springs vibes, and more importantly, it focuses on Lightning McQueen, who still has a lot of growing to do. One thing I love about the Kung Fu Panda movies is its world building and lore, and I think Cars 3 takes a page out of that book really well as it expands the lore of the Cars universe, very reverent of past characters and explaining how different circuits work and things like that, but more in a grounded way, unlike Cars 2, of course. Now, what I loved so much about Cars 1 is that Lightning McQueen is such a strong character. He learns and grows so much in that movie, and Cars 3 perfectly continues that trajectory. And the lessons that McQueen is faced with in the new film are even harder for him to learn and to humble himself yet further as he struggles with being an aging athlete. The media and the fans are calling for his retirement as a crop of young new racers come onto the scene. For me, as a fan of the NBA since I was a tiny kid, most of the big stars from when I first started watching basketball are now getting up there in years and retiring, and it's really sad to see. And this film perfectly captures that stage that inevitably every star athlete will have to face. The film takes a classic sports movie framework and fills it with unique twists and never loses sight of its characters. I'm sure lots of people will compare this to Rocky IV, of course. A new, younger competitor shows up with the fancy, high-tech training methods. An aging champion uses some less traditional, old-school methods in order to train and face him. But don't worry, Cars 3 has enough of its own voice to greatly differentiate from that film. And on top of it all, it's filled with some really cool racing scenes that are far more beautiful and tense than any they've had before. Pixar, of course, always reminding us why they're top of the class with animation. Things like wrecks and explosions and debris in this film lend to times in the races where the cars look nearly photo-real. Really incredible, and something I really like to see in 3D. Normally, I don't really care whether I go to the regular or the 3D, but I was happy I saw this one in 3D. I mean, sure, it was a missed opportunity not to include a black 1970 Dodge Charger voiced by Vin Diesel as a cameo, but that is more than made up for in a scene where McQueen accidentally finds himself locked on a junk track and is forced to compete in an actual demolition derby. One of my favorite scenes from the movie and a very fun one. So as we throw to the list, I'm sure you can guess that Cars 3 is parked up top at our best animated movie of the year slot. And ka-chow! It feels good. Sequel hype is a very dangerous thing and is something that I've often been let down by. And even though I avoided all trailers and reviews for this one, I knew that it would be tough to live up to the hype. I mean, the movie looked like it was gonna get Cars back on the right track. Forgive the pun, not intended. But if you ask me, it certainly did. So there we have it, ladies and gents. It feels good to feel really happy with the film this year. I was starting to get worried. So let me know if you saw Cars 3 and what you thought. No spoilers, of course. As for me, well, I will see you guys next time, right here on every animated movie of the year.